What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Canadian Football Fantasy Fix for Week 14 of the 2021 CFL season. I'm Ryan Coop here with your defensive preview this time around. If you missed it, go back, check out earlier today. I released previews for the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver positions. And I'll have depth chart updates out on Friday as well to get you all set for locking in your lineups for Week 14 of CFL Fantasy. Let's dive into the defense options. 4 games on the schedule, 8 defenses to pick from, and here is how I see the options this week. Let's go top down price wise and start off at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The one option this week that I'm giving the green light, and that's because they've earned it. 13.6 point average in 11 games this year at $5,300 to get 2.5 points per $1,000. You want to get 13.3. They've averaged more than that this year, which is 4 points more than the next best option, which is absolutely absurd. In their past 4 or 5 games, 23, 12, 27, and 22 for the Bombers. So we've seen them put up over 20 points even 3 of their last 5 games. This is a team that's doing everything right defensively. I thought about maybe a bit of a concern against Montreal, who are one of the better teams against, offensively here, again, and not turning over the ball and not allowing sacks. But the thing I'm thinking about here is, Trevor Harris will be starting at quarterback. He's not the most mobile quarterback. That Bombers pass rush is relentless, and I think could be putting up quite a few sacks still on Trevor Harris to get him off his game a little bit, like they did when he played for Edmonton a couple of weeks ago. So they're expensive at $5,300, but they've shown it this year. Even with a tight matchup against Montreal, I don't see any reason the Bombers can't put up a big total for you again this week. Next up, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. $49.96 salary, 12.5 points is what you want to get full value. 9.1 is their average on the year. Last week, they put up 8 points. I'm cautious on them because they've had decent totals this year. I mean, 3 of their last 6 games, they've put up 11 points or more. They've also had a 9, an 8, and a 5 in that span. So they've been having decent totals. The price is a little bit high, though, for Saskatchewan. They're hit and miss at times. I don't like them as much as I like the Winnipeg option for a similar salary. And while the matchup with Edmonton seems to be a better matchup available because they have given up, big points to defenses this year, seems like they've honed that in a little bit in the last couple of games where they gave up just 7 and 4. So not as much as I like the matchup with Winnipeg, but I do think there is potential for a good game from the Riders there. I'm saying stay away from Montreal at 38.44, which may be surprising to say stay away from them given that they're a 9.5 average, second best in the league behind Winnipeg, and you only need 9.6, but if you look at that right column on the chart there, the average given up by Winnipeg to defenses is just 2.5 points. They don't give up sacks. That offensive line is best in the league. They don't really turn the ball over maybe once a game. So I think Montreal, I say stay away from them based on the matchup alone. This is nothing to discredit Montreal's play. I mean, last week they only put up 7 points against the Riders, but in the 2 games before that, 23 and 20 against Ottawa and Toronto. So there's potential there. I just don't like the matchup with Winnipeg at all here to warrant putting Montreal in the lineup. Nobody has proven to put up a massive total on them yet this year to justify spending that money there. Hamilton's defense, I'm yellow light cautious category there. They're averaging 9 points a game on the year. You need 9.1, so they're pretty darn close to that. I think BC is also one of the teams that has proven you can put bigger totals up against. Last week BC only gave up 3 points to Toronto, but in the 4 games before that, 12, 12, 17, and 22. Hamilton defense, though, has been a bit up and down in recent weeks. They had a couple strong weeks in a row, 14, 18, and 9. Then they put up a 5. Then they put up a 16 against Ottawa. And then last week, just 4 against Edmonton when everybody expected them to perhaps put up a bigger total. So it's been up and down for Hamilton. They haven't been in recent weeks, consistently putting up the big totals that you're looking for. So that's why they go yellow light to me, but I do like the matchup with BC. Much the same for Toronto. I love the matchup with Ottawa. 13.4 points a game is what they give up to defenses. And last time around, Toronto put up a big 29-point day against Ottawa's defense, Toronto's defense. I always get the two mixed up. Toronto's defense put a 29-point game up against Ottawa back in week number 10. But since then, the Argos have put up 4, -1, and 3. This is a defense that more often than not this year doesn't seem to put up big fantasy totals. Their highest total on the year outside of that 29 was an 8. Which is what you need this week. So, good matchup for Ottawa. If you want to bank on the matchup alone, there's potential for a good play there. But I don't think that Toronto themselves, has proven to be a defense that will regularly put you up a big total, which is why they are not a green light. They are a yellow light option for me because I could see it being a bit of a disappointment potentially this week. And then we get into 3 cheap price defenses that I'm saying no to this week. This is the week where I'm saying spend the money on the defense. Edmonton, $3,200, 10 games played, averaging 3 points a game on the year. I think that's enough said there for them. They did randomly put up 8 points against the Bombers 2 games ago, but other than that, in their past 5 games, 1, 0, 1, and -2. They don't force turnovers, they don't get a ton of sacks, and they don't warrant putting in your fantasy lineup. The BC Lions, $3,200 as well. 6.3 average on the year, but it's been kind of down as of late for the Lions. Big 9 points against the Argos last week, but in games before that, 3, -2, and -3 totals for them in that regard. So if they can right the ship, I'll consider moving them back up the ranks here. But to me, they are not a great option, especially against a Hamilton team that has seemed to round into form offensively and has put up big numbers in 3 straight weeks. And then finally, also staying away from Ottawa's defense, the last couple of games for them, they had a bit of a hot streak there, 10, 10, and 13 between weeks 9 and 10. They played 2 games in week 10, but in the past 3 games, 7 points, 1 point, and 2 points for Ottawa's defense there. They've been so up and down this year, and when they've been down, they've been really down on the fantasy total, so I don't think it is a great option to lock into your lineup. So those are your options at defense. Yes, I am saying the go-to option this week is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are the highest priced option available. Also think Saskatchewan, Hamilton, and Toronto could be interesting plays there as well with good matchups. So those are your options at defense for the week. Go back, check out the quarterback, running back, and wide receivers if you'd like as well to get some insight into those positions. Do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you liked, what you didn't. If you have any fantasy questions, put them in the comments section or tweet them at me at CooperTrooper42 on Twitter. The link is in the video description. And if you want to play CFL Fantasy alongside myself and other viewers, there's a link in the description there as well too. The Canadian Football Fantasy Fix group over on the official CFL Fantasy site. You can play alongside myself and other viewers this week and the rest of the 2021 CFL season. Stay tuned tomorrow for the depth chart updates to finish locking in your lineups. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.